You are welcome once again to Evangelist Imakalu TV, Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. This is part 3 of the topic Fornication and its Problems. That is a sub-caption from Lust and Their Problems. I have made part 1 and part 2 of this video, and this is part 3 of it. And they're from the same source of information, which is the Cameroon lady whose video I use to make the video. This is the third time I will be making videos on this topic from her videos. So this will be the longest of the 3. And after this, I may at least leave her and her video for the moment. If I will continue on this topic, I'll be using other videos. So this will be the longest. I want to begin immediately by playing her video first. So then I will be analyzing.
Between my baby's father and this next boyfriend that I'm going to be talking about, I honestly don't know who was worse. While I was still in Cameroon, I was working. My manager at that time, while I was going through the emotional trauma that my baby's father and my cousin put me through, it was emotionally there for me as a friend. Like, there was nothing, I didn't see any attachment at that time. When I left, traveled to the UAE, the first time I went back home for vacation, he courted. And I told him, look, I can't do long distance relationship. That's what I thought then. If I knew that, because right now I'm in a long distance relationship, then I couldn't. I told him I can't do long distance relationship and I can't be intimate with a man because my previous experience with my baby's father is very traumatic. So I don't want to be intimate with any man until after marriage. I did not ask him to quit his job. I just told him my state of mind at that time, what I was ready to do and what I was not ready to do. Then I came back to the UAE, he quit his job and he joined me. He came to the UAE. I had about 2 people at this time that were living with me. I used to do something back then, which I don't do anymore, please. So please don't come to my private page or comment section to ask me to do this. I don't do it. But back then, I used to take as many people as possible who cannot afford a place of their own while they're still searching for a job. I used to bring them to my home, let them stay there until they get their own jobs, and then they can move to their own accommodation. And there's a reason why I did this, but that's the story part of the day. When I brought this boyfriend, I had 2 people so far living with me, plus my daughter, plus my daughter's nanny. He came, everything seems to be going fine. When I go to work and come back, he would tell me about his job search experience. So many times he would go out and he would tell me that he went for an interview. Sometimes he would go out and just tell me he just went to visit someone. Yeah, everything was going on. This day came. One of the people that I was helping, her visa expired. And she came and cried to me to lend her some money because she didn't want to go back home. She wanted to hustle some more, search a bit longer. I talked to my boyfriend about it. He didn't want me to help her. He wanted her to go back home, and I never understood why are you so bitter? I can afford to lend her the money. So why not do it? But he said, why doesn't she want to go back home? Is it not her home? Why is she scared? She's not scared. She just wants to stay here a bit longer to try her luck. And I'm glad I eventually lent her the money because she did pretty good for herself while she was in the UAE. She's now in the US, married with children, but she did pretty good for herself. So if I had not given her that chance, things might have turned out differently, maybe worse, maybe better, I don't know. But I don't regret anything to her. I lent her the money anyway. And he was pissed that I did it without his approval. When his visa expired, he went to Cameroon for me to do another visa for him to come back. And I sponsored everything because remember, he's not working. I sponsored the ticket, I sponsored the visa. I gave him money to keep with him. The visa took some weeks to be out. So it took so long. I gave him money to have with him. I was trying to play good future wife. So I bought gifts for his family. Remember, in one of my videos, I said, when I took that loan, I used some of the loan to do something stupid and irresponsible. I spent some of it on my boyfriend. This is the boyfriend. I bought gifts for his family. Everybody, his parents, his siblings' children. He even told me he has a sister who doesn't like gifts. She likes money. I put the money in an envelope and I sent. There was one of his siblings that had just put to birth. The baby was still days or just weeks old. I bought gifts even for the youngest and the oldest. I bought for everybody. Nobody was left out. So he was in Cameroon, and I found out he was living large when he was in Cameroon. He was living large. With a girlfriend that is sponsoring everything, and the girlfriend is abroad. When the visa was out, he came back. Same old. He would tell me about his job search experiences. Sometimes he would go out, like he was going for an interview, like that. And then this day came, and he told me that when he was in Cameroon, there was a lady who wanted to come to the UAE, and she spoke to him about it, and he gave her approval to come and live with us. I didn't even know about it. This is the first time he's telling me about it, but he already gave her approval. And what is worse is that lady was supposed to be reaching the airport the same night he told me. She was sponsoring her trip. He didn't tell me about it. He spoke with her when he was in Cameroon. He only told me the day she was arriving the UAE. She was already on her way. How am I supposed to do with this information? I was so pissed. I already have two people that I'm taking care of, plus my daughter. I was a single mom, plus the daughter's nanny that I'm paying her salary, plus you, the jobless. Okay, not going to cuss. I thought about the lady. I couldn't leave her to be stranded at the airport. She believes that it was his house. He's the man of the house and everything, and she has been granted the permission. So I had to go to the airport and pick up a total stranger, bring her home. She never understood why I was so moody that night. I tried to hide it. I'm terrible at hiding my emotions, and I didn't tell her anything that this is my home, and I didn't know you were coming. When she found out, she felt horrible. She didn't do anything bad, but she felt so bad. And she thanked me so much for still picking her up at the airport and bringing her into my home, in spite of everything. After a couple of months, we moved to a bigger place because at this time I was in a 2-bedroom flat. It was becoming too crowded. We moved to a 3-bedroom flat, which was much bigger, and of course, I was the one paying everything. Now I have 3 people in my home that I'm helping, plus my daughter's nanny, plus my daughter, plus my jobless boyfriend. The people that I was helping, they had something they wanted to tell me, but they were scared because I was so in love with this guy. They were scared that if they say anything against him, I would kick them out of the house because they would have spoken against the man that I love. But at one point, they could not keep it. They took that risk because I did not deserve what he was doing to me. They told me, your boyfriend has not searched for a job even once. He's been lying to you. We don't know why, so go and ask him why. My time is up. Please like part.
So,
alright, so part 2 of why my
after the failure,
I honestly don't know who was worse. While I was still
after the failure of her fornication relationship, she engaged into a new fornication relationship.
This is part 2 of my.
No. So she fell into a new fornication relationship by changing a boyfriend. By changing
I saw this
a boyfriend.
In someone's page.
There is another video of her that I will play later. That is what I'm searching for. Then
I saw this in someone's page. Please, I swore never to sleep with someone else. I met my husband on the flight to Afghanistan or Warsaw. Yes, if you want to find out how.
Okay. Fornication is very, very expensive. It is emotionally expensive. It is financially expensive. It costs time. It costs time. It costs pains and regrets. As I told you before, there are two kinds of pains. Pains of discipline. That is, while someone is going under the process of discipline, self-discipline more especially, it is not that easy. It is not that easy. It is very difficult, but it is very, very beneficial, and it benefits more than it costs. So it is painful to discipline self. It is also painful for others to discipline their fellow human beings. But the pain is far more grievous and dangerously grievous when it comes from regrets. When the pains come from regrets, it is better it comes from discipline, because discipline is a training. It is a training for development. Self-discipline is a training for self-development. Then discipline others is also a training for developing such people who are disciplined. We see her giving her information, expressing her experience after the first failed relationship through fornication, not in marriage. She had engaged with a new boyfriend from her country, Cameroon, and in her comparison, she never could tell which among the former boyfriend who impregnated her and the newer boyfriend who is the worst among the two. She never could tell. But was she under obligation to have that experience? The answer is no. Her decision to say no. There are times in life and in some circumstances when no is the best answer. Just like her, like every other girl, like every other woman, at times it is vice versa. It is the female, the boy or the girl or the woman playing over the young man or the adult man. Sometimes it is vice versa. It is in our power to say no to some circumstances, to some demand that people demand from us, either as to go into relationship with them, which is the typical example for this video, or for any other thing. There are at times saying no is the best answer. And we should not be allowing people to be changing our willpower. Because as I speak, barely everybody wants to colonize you in relationship. Barely everybody wants to colonize you. So if you don't stand your ground to know the right decisions you have to make for yourself, the right actions and the right inactions you should engage into, you will remain under colony. But I don't mean for you to be harsh or to be disrespectful or to be violent. That is not what I am talking about. It is all about being wise and diligent in relationship and in everything. And the prevention is better than cure. So the best option is to not engage into fornication relationship. Anything that has to do with sex must be inside of a legitimate marriage. Outside of that, it is a no-go area in the sight of God and according to natural phenomena. So these are the ugly experiences people encounter in sexual relationship, and I'm talking about fornication. She came to have a jobless boyfriend whom he spent a lot of money upon. He spent a lot of money upon the jobless boyfriend, to the extent that she traveled to Cameroon using her own money to buy gifts to the entire family members of this jobless boyfriend. And she was the one sponsoring the boyfriend, accommodating him, feeding him, to the extent that the guy began to have sense of lordship over her, by getting angry for her not to take his approval before borrowing some money to somebody or to some people whom she decided to help on herself. So had it been in marriage, it would be a different case. So these are part of the problems. When someone, a young man or an adult man who is not married to you, a lady, beginning to have sense of control over you, over your finance, over your moves, over your decision, while he is not yet married to you. And if I go deeper to explain this, some people will begin to ask, how can the person know whether the girl can be disciplined? How can the man know whether the girl can be submissive? Or vice versa. How can the girl know? How can the young or the adult woman know that the man she is into this, she is aiming to marry? How can she know that the man can be a good man, that the man can be hospitable to take good care of her, whether the man is industrious or a lazy one? Then why should you learn all those things while having sexual affair with him or with her every now and then, even to the extent of living together with the man who is not married to you, with the woman whom you are not married to? There are many ways to learn all of these things. So it is not about learning those things, because I have seen people who have lived together for 2-3 years, even some more than that 3 years, they got married, yet the marriage breaks up. That means living together to study each other is not really the guarantee for one to really understand whomsoever he or she is about to marry. And in most cases, even after living together for 2 or 3 years, even when the girl is humble, the man may be a playboy, a playman, maybe giving her one allegation or hang his excuse in one reason or the other to dismantle that relationship. And in some cases, the man will be dating another woman elsewhere while living with another one with him in the house. And this is exactly what had happened to her. This is the experience many women are having today. And in some cases, it is the men suffering those experiences. The girl will be a playgirl or a playwoman, just be playing over the intelligence, over the finance, over the accommodation, over the provision of the man. So nobody is actually free from the problems that come from this fornication, sexual immorality, as a result of lust for sex. Lust for sex goes along with its problems. So we can see her from one trauma to a different trauma after having undergone the first experience, which rendered her a baby mama without marriage. She could not discipline herself. Just like many other girls, just like many other men, she engaged into a new relationship. Why should you believe that a man cannot marry you when you respect yourself, you protect your prestige, and protect your dignity? When a man comes to you to approach you, tell the man you are not interested in any relationship that will lead to fornication before marriage, which was her prior decision after the first experience. But she let herself fall to the decision that this second playboy brought to her. No, let us begin with sexual relationship. Then we'll study ourselves. We do this. And everything ended up that she became the sponsor of the whole thing. And the man been playing over him, having external affair from the affair she was having with the man, or the affair the man was having with her in her own house. She was working and providing, only for her to come to realize when her housemates, those she kept in the house, gave her the information that this young man had not been serious with you and had not been looking for a job as she claimed to have been looking for and could not get any. All these things are play. People are trying to use others to climb. Why must you make yourself vulnerable? Because it was not imposed on you. It was not imposed on anybody. This did not happen under duress. It is something that somebody deliberately, either by timidity, submitting herself or himself under the influence of the demander. So you have to make your decision. I'm making this kind of video so that you come to realize the problems that emanate from lust. This is just sexual lust I am talking about, and not holistically sexual. I'm just tipping on fornication. When I go into adultery, when I go into masturbation, when I go into bestiality, homosexuality, different kinds of immoral sex, lesbianism, then it can continue to go on and forth. So why can't you learn? Why can't we learn? Why can't we respect ourselves? Why can't we say no to our lust, to never allow our sexual urge to be in charge of our life? That undisciplined sexual appetite brings a lot of problems. So we can see the regret. We can see her getting into second stage of trauma after she had been freed. So don't forget, remember, that is lust and their problems. Lust and their problems. Very soon it will be available in Amazon. Lust and their problems. So this is just a tip. The video is just a tip on lust for fornication, sexual lust, and on fornication. Then there are many other captions. There are many other captions in regard to lust and their problems. So when you have your book, your copy of this book, you read, you have the insights, then you will be able to prevent some futuristic problems that you will encounter, because hence you are alive on this earth. All those problems will be coming. It depends on you to identify them, then to prevent them from you being victimized by them. There are also some of the problems you are already into at the moment. From here, you can identify those problems, then you begin to find the solution. And the best solution is to stop anything and stop anything that is revealed to be the cause of the problem you are into, either as materialism, sexual immorality, sexual lust, whatever, lust for power, lust for whatever. There are many things. There are many things that are packed into the book that I'm talking about. So very soon it will be available in Amazon. Why this one is already available on Amazon? This is Olivet Prophecy, Matthew 24. The Olivet Prophecy, Matthew 24. You get your copy, the prophecy of Jesus Christ in regard to the signs, the phenomenal signs heralding the end time and the coming of the rapture and of the great tribulation, which will begin to happen after the rapture. So I want to play the next video from her.
Keep watching. But before then, I have to tell you about this last boyfriend. After this dude who stole my passport, I dated yet another. After some time, I dated another Cameroonian guy. I was intentional about dating only Cameroonians, not because they're better than other men, no, just because I thought that my daughter would easily connect with a fellow Cameroonian. That's what I thought. I was obviously wrong, but I did it for her. I met this guy in church. We were dating. Everything seemed to be going on well. I saw this in someone's wall.
I've missed the video I'm targeting to get. I've missed the video I'm targeting to get. Why can't I get the video?
Between my baby's father and this next boyfriend I'm going to be talking about, I honestly don't know who was worse. While I was still in Cameroon, I was working. My manager at that time,
that is the
while I was going through. I saw this in someone's wall.
No, that is not the video I'm looking for.
I saw this in someone.
I've got lots of the video, but let me play the.
As of today, it will. As of today, it will henceforth be the official.
So there are videos I wanted to play serially, short video from her. So now let me round up the program because I could not really get the video back. So I don't know what happened to those videos. So in two of those videos, she explained about the same second boyfriend traveled back to Cameroon and stole her passports. That is under grievance to make her lose her job, which she definitely lost her job. But it is by the grace of God, she was able to confront the boy's family in Cameroon by she sending a message, passing a message across. to her cousin who went to meet the boy's family, telling them that this lady, will jail the boy for committing the crime of taking another person's passport in addition to his, which is illegal, and that passport is a government property. And due to her alarming, the family of the boy called the boy, blaming him for taking such a step. And in the end, the boy confessed that she just did it to punish her so that she will lose her job, and the two of them will suffer together. That is ungratefulness. That is ungratefulness. From the girl's report, this girl had not been maltreating the boy. It is the boy maltreating her. The first boy, the second boy. Then it is ungratefulness. And this is the life of some people. Some people you will allow into your space, into your life, to enjoy with you. And sometimes they will take advantage of you sexually, financially, emotionally, and otherwise. They will pay you back with disrespect, disregard. Even sometimes they beat you up and they begin to make trouble with you at last. This is exactly what this lady had experienced. After that, she got into the third relationship, and there was no change. There was no change. First man, second man, third man, they were all playing her. When should you stop the experimentation? How long can you continue to experiment with your future, with your destiny, with your life, with your body, in addition to the dignity and the prestige that are attached to them? How long can you continue to experiment? The people experiment for two reasons, or maybe for three reasons. The first reason is because they are not confidently sure of themselves, of whom they are. If you are a lady and you are confident and you are sure of whom you are, of your worth, of your value, you don't have to mess yourself around to please any man before the man will marry you. I'm saying this, it is not because I hate men. I am not also saying it just to sweet talk with the ladies. I am saying it because it is a taboo in the sight of God. A man also, according to the will of God, according to points of reality, God does not want any man, any boy, any man to be having sex before marriage. Premarital sex is a sin. Premarital sex is a sin. So God made all these things as a means of us disciplining ourselves. We can learn people's character by how they behave, how they talk, what they do not do, what they like and what they do not like. In the olden days, many women married as virgins, yet they made better marriages than many people who have fornicated and have different number of body counts before getting married. Marriage in the olden days lasts more than it does today. Divorce, separation in these modern days are more rampant than it was in the 100 years ago, in the 50 years ago. Hello, Mr. Z. Yes, I did house. Okay, I did come. Just give me 2 minutes. Are they up? Okay. 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 Make I open for you. Make I open door for you. Okay. So that is it. May we respect ourselves. I have an appointment and I'm almost done. So let me just end the video here. Let us be wise. Let us be diligent. Let us respect ourselves. Then respect will begin to follow us in return. Respect will begin to bow to us as a woman, as a man. Respect your dignity. You will see men who will respect you for whom you truly are. For you respecting yourself. For you as a man respecting yourself. There are people who are looking for your type. Forget about the scarcity of wives. Forget about the scarcity of husbands. Just pull yourself away from the crowd. Show your uniqueness in the positive way, and you become a hot cake in the market of marriage. God bless you. I remain your servant, evangelist, Inyima Kalu. God bless you. The program has just come to an end.